moment you go to the mountains, you feel like shooting the mountain. But and shooting the mist and the snow and the beauty of it. But the grunge of the story, she is really captured through these people.
It is smart, intelligent comedy, but it's also not very, very niche, and you need to know certain references to get those jokes. It's not like that. It's
Very
accessible comedy, and people will enjoy it.
Rag became Anurag after say Panch or Des or Dev D and Vasipur, but or when Dibakar made Khosla Ka Khosla, or when Vasan made Peddlers, or the other films are so. So I am very excited with that thought that if I can be a first-time filmmaker's journey and we can make something that is exciting, then that seems like that seems more satisfying to me than.
So, firstly, welcome to My Cinema Story, and congratulations, the film is finally releasing in theaters.
Thank you.
And it's a very good film. I have seen the film, and I won't reveal anything about it. But I think everyone should watch it. It's a different kind of film in this genre, and I really love it. I really enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
So my question is to AB, as I see your reels about the process of the film on the page.
Right.
Yeah, so 2016 में idea आया and 2025 में release हो रही है. So it's almost a decade. So when a story stays that long with you, it keeps changing, you know. So what's one thing in the film which stayed exactly the same and one thing which transformed completely?
Okay. That's a great question, actually. So, I think one thing that has stayed over the years is the log line. Like, it was always a story about a mother and a son, where the son is a cop and very disrespectful to the mother, and the mother has to find a way to connect with the son. And therefore, she, when the murder happens, she thinks of that as a chance to sort of connect with the son by helping in solving the crime. So that at the logline level, that was always the same. I think what went through a lot of changes was where it's going to be set. It was in 2016. It was set in a city. Then it moved to Kolkata. Then it went to North Bengal. So that was one thing that kept changing because of how I was looking at it visually and stuff, and the references I was drawing was similar to how North Bengal is and everything. So it eventually went there. And also another thing that changed a lot over time was the character of Tamang. So the cop, Sukant's boss, in the film. Initially, I think I was writing it only as a funny character, like comedy, 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 joke, joke, joke. But the flesh and blood bit of it happened much later, and a lot of it was added by the actor Chitranjan Giri, who added a lot to that character. So yeah, it was a process. That character really grew a lot from 2016 till now, in that sense.
Okay, that come out really well. Actually, that character particularly.
Thank you.
And Sukant, I loved you in Sandeep or Pinky Farrar. So that small role, big impact, and that scene I still remember when I saw it for the first time. It was a very impactful scene and performance. And Khara Pani is one of your best works. Everyone says that. So,
thank you.
Yeah.
In Kaisi Ye Paheli, where does your character sit in that spectrum of roles you have been doing?
I think what attracted me was that he's silent a lot. I think some of the work that I'd done, this person was like, the characters were talking a lot and were kind of driving scenes a lot. So the silence of this character was very intriguing to me when I read the script. And I thought that might be interesting for me to do on screen, on camera, just be more silent. And the script allows him to burst on two occasions in two scenes, which are back to back in the film.
Yeah.
So I felt like there's enough psychology there to discover and explore, and yet be silent mostly through the film and not be such a driving force, while the other characters and the story around him is kind of pushing him here and there. So I thought that was something I could explore.
Yeah, now that you have mentioned about those scenes, my next question was about that only. So both
Mm.
the outburst scenes are, I think, one take, from what I have
Uh,
noticed. It was shot in that
yeah,
way.
yeah,
Kind of,
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
largely.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was the prep for both of these scenes? Because it was like outburst in front of mother, and in
Mm.
front of Rasika, it was, you're just,
Mm.
it's a different tone, but it's a outburst in two different ways.
Yes,
So what
yes.
was the thought or prep for this?
See, I can't talk about the filming of it because that AB and Lena might have more of an insight to like how they wanted to shoot it. I mean, I like the fact that it's one take because it allows you to breathe with the character, and there is no like the edit doesn't interfere in manipulating you as to how you're receiving this person's thoughts. Um, but very interestingly, in the first outburst, I see that Lena has kept her camera, or the editor has kept the takes where you're seeing the mother more. You're seeing her respond more to this outburst, and
Yeah.
I like that. It could easily have been on me, and you see this guy like shouting and angry and all of that. But the reception of the mother also plays like a very good deception in the entire story later because you're being deceived in some way or the other.
Right.
While at that time you sense the reality of that house and those two people. Uh, but preparation, I mean, we had a lot of chats with AB as to what is he saying, what is the scene about, and tonally where do we want it to go. And I also, when I was reading the script, these two scenes hooked me to the film completely. Uh,
Mm.
and it seemed to me like these two scenes need to be something for people to receive Uttam's character and see the contradiction in him uh, towards his mother, his work, his love, just how he wants to exist. So yeah, it was like as an actor, it was fun to not have the camera cut and just be in that state of mind and talk to the people, the co-actors, and have them respond. I thought it was very fun to do it, and I don't mind doing it like again and again and again and again because it helps me. I think more than just like thinking, oh, one take, oh, wow, second take, perfect, done. No, that doesn't make any sense to me actually. I enjoy doing it again and again because there's more discovery and you relax more. Like Sukant goes out of the equation slowly, and like Uttam and AB's idea can take over. So it was fun, and the two actors also, the other actors also become very important as to what they are doing in it,
Yeah.
how they're receiving, because it's not like the camera is just on me and it's a monologue. So it's still the interplay between two people. Um, it might feel like one person is talking, but the other person is listening, and that's making the scene. So, like, Rasika's response comes after a lot of listening, but then that response has to have a journey of the listening and
Mm.
then arrive at something, and then suddenly there's a conflict or the mother's thing. So, yeah, I mean, they were very enjoyable scenes to do. I really enjoyed it. I thought they were written very well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wanted to add something there about
Yeah.
those two scenes. So I think edit happens with a bunch of different kinds of logic, right? Sometimes you are able to edit the film just to tell the story better. But a lot of editing one can see in the films these days is that you're trying to hide something. You're trying to hide bad performances through the editing by distracting the audience with cutting away and like sort of moving a lot. So when you have actors like Sukant, when you get to get to work with such great actors, then you don't have to do much as a director, right? So what you can do is just observe them. You don't have to really play a lot there. So what we were able to do in the first and the second scene, the one where he holds up the bottle to the mother, and sort of the following scene, is that we just wanted to be there in the room, observe what's happening. In the first scene, actually, there are three different shots. One of them captures Uttam entirely. There's another shot that can captures the mother entirely, and there's another one that sort of switches between the two, and we intercut. But it kind of in the edit looks like it is a one shot in some way. Like it gives that feeling, but it's not actually that. In the second one, it is a one shot. We There's a small movement in there, but we are just there observing Sukant and Rasika, like Uttam and Rasika, in that scene. So, and that is only possible when the performers are great, and I mean, you can just rely on the performance, and you have to do nothing basically. Yeah.
And interestingly, like when we were in Sikkim in the hotel and we would shoot, and every night Lena and I would also sit together, and we used to think about that scene a lot, about the second scene as to how do you visualize it? Like, so I found it very interesting that the DOP is asking me, because that doesn't happen in the big film processes. You just arrive on set and it's all ready, and you're told what to do, and you're given enough space.
Right.
Also, directors, has that capability or that understanding. But here it seemed like,
Right.
I'm being asked by the DOP as to how you're seeing the scene, because I am seeing the scene a certain way, and I
Right.
did
Right.
say that he's just there. You're just voyeuristically there in a, and I don't think the camera is doing any tricks there. And the if I can if you can peep through my eyes in that scene, and even the eyes don't need to move a lot, because he's still not looking at her. It's tough to look
Yeah.
at the person and say those things.
Mm.
He still finds a nook to look away and say those things. So then I thought, if the camera can be voyeuristic in that sense and not do much, so we would communicate. Of course, ultimately it was Lena and Abby's idea, but I enjoyed that conversation, or sticking with that scene. And we knew that day, oh, this scene
Right.
has to be done today. So that scene was always playing in your head. That day is going to come when this scene has to be shot. Since the
Yeah.
day I read it in the script, so your kind of mind is working towards it subconsciously anyway,
Mm.
and that it happens in like after 3/4 of the filming process. So you've lived with the character a little bit. You've seen the things that have changed from the script in terms of experiencing it in the actual scenarios. So when you're talking, I guess there is some reality to it which it automatically carries, or so one hopes. So I guess, I mean, these are the elements that I thought.
And even the placement of the scene, otherwise it's a very calm vibe. Although it's a
Yeah,
murder mystery, murder had happened, but
yeah,
the story is going very silently and calmly, and then these two scenes come back to back. So
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
the placement of
Which
the rhythm
wasn't
of the film
That
changes.
is that was not there in the script. That
It
was
wasn't
the
the screenplay
placement.
doesn't have it back to back.
Yeah, it doesn't have it back to back. As the editor who sort of put it back to back,
Yeah,
Prakhar Khare is the editor on this,
yeah,
and he's the one who sort of rewired the film in the third cut
yeah,
and plays it back to back, and now it has a whole new meaning,
Yeah.
yeah.
and it sort of transitions nicely. And by then, you kind of have a sense of the lightness of the film also,
Mm,
and therefore Uttam's reaction towards his own mother feels a little more like shocking in that
mm.
sense. Earlier, it was a little earlier in the film, within the
That's
first
how
10 minutes or so. Yeah.
that's how helpless an actor is in this medium. Like, you really don't know what's going to happen, so you try and do the scene how you understand as honestly as possible. Well, I
Yeah.
didn't know that it's going to come there. If I knew it's going to come there, my actor mind would have started working some other surgery.
Right.
So it's best to not
Right.
do that as an actor in this medium. Just like get on with it. Yeah,
And the film is mainly focused on mother-son strained relationship. So we
yeah.
rarely see that in films. It's always father-son conflict, which is shown in most of the films. So,
Hmm.
Yeah.
what made you place this relationship at the center of the plot?
Um, I mean, to tell the truth, basically. So it's like, again, like you said, it's not portrayed enough, but it doesn't mean it doesn't exist in the society. It does. Like, one has seen such relationships. I mean, I have my own issues with my mother. We don't connect very well. At least in 2016, when I wrote the story, the connection was even less. I completely failed to get her. Now I'm trying a little. harder. Maybe there is some connection, but still, it's not as much as you expect a mother son, bond to be like. So, but I see a lot of pretense around it in pop culture. About how mothers and sons are always supposed to get along, and how a mother is God and stuff like that. So, I mean, films, I think, is not a place for you to showcase how nice a person you are. I mean, it's a place where you come and confess, right? That's what art is supposed to be. Um, we can leave the bragging and the showcasing of flowery things to politicians, right? As artists, we have to tell the truth. So therefore, I think that's where this comes from. That yeah, that's yeah,
And also the film has the lighter moments, the funny moments, humor, along with it's
yeah,
not just serious murder mystery or anything. There are a lot of fun moments,
yeah,
very, very subtle moments. So it was
yeah, yeah.
right from the starting during the writing process, or it emerged during rehearsals or improvisations.
So the comedy was written. It was largely written. Most of what you see in the film is written. So we didn't improv a lot.
No.
In terms of the lines, we didn't improv a lot. It
Mm.
was we stuck to the script.
Mm.
But um, with good actors, what happens is that they don't need to improv to uplift your film. Like, they can stick to the same lines that you wrote, but through their interpretation and performance, they can just improve the scene a lot. And that's what the actors in this film did. So yeah, so we didn't have to improv; it was all there.
Okay.
So, Kant, do you have a different opinion on that? You can
No,
share.
no, no. I think he's absolutely right. We didn't improv the lines hardly anything, and he had a lot of conviction about that, and somehow I enjoyed that also, and I'm sure like Rajit did too also, and but 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 these actors are very skilled, and they're very like they like Chitranjan Giri, for example, constantly think what is in this that I can milk in terms of making you laugh, connect with this character, bring you to the police station, and then leave you gobsmacked because something else happens later. So yeah, these are very good actors who are very experienced and able to do this. And it was like personally, it was good for me also to again. It was like about being there, not trying to not I didn't have to try to do something so that I can claim a scene or you know take
Yeah,
some.
yeah,
So that restraint was something which I wanted to practice or experiment with this character, and not be uh, shaken or tempted while there's a lot of things going on around with all these interesting characters. Almost like, can boring be engaging? Like so this was, yeah, but we didn't improvise a lot. No, no. And there was humor in the script already, and whatever he says, I agree with that. Yeah.
And Rajit Kapoor as detective, immediately we get the Vyomkesh Bakshi call back. So
yeah,
was it intentional? How did he come on board?
yeah. So this character is actually very different from Bhumkesh Bakshi.
Yeah.
Like, Bhumkesh Bakshi was a far more polite and b better at his job.
Yes.
And I was not capable of writing a character as proficient as Bhumkesh Bakshi. So in that sense, it is a different character. And also, Rajit sir played it in a very different way than how he played Bhumkesh Bakshi. And about getting him on board and getting all the actors on board. So that's Deepak Agarwal, the casting director, who approached all these fantastic actors with the script, and we pitched it basically to them. So Deepak took the script to them, shared it with them, gave them context, and then they were the ones who chose to associate with the film. It was not the other way around.
Mhm.
We are independent filmmakers.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not in a position to audition, for such characters. So it was actually their call to associate with the script, and that's how all the top four actors came on board. And for the others, we auditioned.
I met one actor yesterday who had been approached for Bondo's part.
Sorry. Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's a friend.
We'll talk.
Rajit also knows him. He said, "Your film is releasing. Shit, I would have been in it." I said, "It's okay. It's okay. It's
Oh,
okay."
can't reveal, but you text me
No,
and
I
do
don't.
that.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Cool,
But I'm
cool.
glad Rajit did it. Like he just the whole thing, the whole idea of the film becomes more spicy with him being in it.
With him
Almost
being
like
in
the
it. Yeah.
subverted meta idea of what we know of him, and then the books that she reads, and then it's almost like is it the book that's playing out? Is it like what that is that? Is it that's why it's so simplified, this murder mystery, or is it like these guys can't figure out nuance? So what is it? So, yeah.
So,
Sorry,
like,
you were saying.
yeah, you have worked with Dibakar Banerjee, Anurag Kashyap, Vasan Bhala. So how different it is working with these filmmakers and doing an independent film, and also you worked with Dharma and YRF also. So any difference largely?
You'll have to take him out of the video so I can be honest. No. It's while I enjoyed working with all of them, but the indie film process is I love it because you have more ownership of the film and process because you're involved more thickly, more densely in the whole thing. And for that to happen, there should be, at least for me, a space where I feel I can surrender to this person. He knows what he's saying. And if he doesn't know, he's able to say that he doesn't know, let's figure it out, and does not pretend to have all the answers, but at least to have questions and be engaged with them. And so I found that with AB in a short meeting that we had once I had read the script, and we spoke for 15-20 minutes because I had some questions which the script wasn't telling me, but when he spoke I figured, okay, he also may not have the answers, but I can surrender to this person. I just went for a pee break, I remember, in that cafe after 20 minutes of saying I'm not sure, and
Yeah.
I came back from the toilet and I said, let's do it, we're on. And it's just and the first filmmaker also, like with Anurag Dibakar and all. Anurag became Anurag after say Panch or this or Dev D and Basipur, but those actors can say that we did Panch together when Anurag was discovering his voice or had something to say and did something, or when Dibakar made Khosla Ka Khosla, or when Vasan made
Peddlers.
Peddlers,
Yeah.
or
Peddlers.
the other films are. So, so I am very excited with that thought that if I can be a first-time filmmaker's journey and we can make something that is exciting, then that seems more satisfying to me than reaching a director who's already established, can get any actors, and then is telling a story after becoming a little more comfortable in life, uh, and has a producer on board, etc. And then the honesty of the first film, or the absolute like abandon towards all the things that you start respecting later on because fear seeps in, of failure. That is just exciting to be part of, and I thought AB was very sure of what he wanted, and all these actors didn't like shake him in terms of when he was directing a scene. It can easily do that. You have to do some negotiations. Directing is also a lot of like people management on set and
Yeah.
offset, and actors come from their own schools and their own experiences, and so he was able to listen to them, incorporate things, but yet get what he wants through whatever number of takes it took, etc. So I like that confidence in a person, and I'll be standing with that person through the entire process if I've surrendered once. It was great fun.
We see a lot of suspense drama, thrillers, and what do you feel sets Kaisi Ye Paheli apart? If you want to talk to audience to come and watch the film in theaters, what what would you talk?
So can't go for it first.
Oh, me?
Let's have
Ah,
the better word first.
I think that um, it's a very different kind of narrative of a who done it or why done it or whatever you want to call it. And at the center, this relationship between the mother and son is very, very unexpected. Uh, so there's a lot going on, and I just saw it in the theater in the festival, in the Yellowstone International Film Festival, and I thought in the theaters it really looked interesting. how close you were to these characters, their eyes, and the film became about many things. Like the police station scene and the home scenes are so unexpectedly different in terms of how we have been conditioned to see these spaces and the energy in these spaces. It's very different. The idea of a sleepy town, a mountain town in North Bengal, these are all like, I'm sure things have been shot there, but I just feel like the food is served very differently here, and I found it very engaging to watch. So yeah, please come if you want to be uh, engaged in something you think you already know and have seen before, but you wouldn't have, and some very interesting casting choices, some very interesting camera work by Leena Patoli, who's the DOP. Because moment you go to the mountains, you feel like shooting the mountain, but
Yeah.
and shooting the mist and the snow and the beauty of it. But the grunge of the story, she has really captured through these people, and avoided the temptation of the regular way of storytelling in these settings. And it's different writing, and it's an energy that I can feel on screen, which must have been there while creating the film.
Please come to the theaters to watch the film on 28th of November and the days going forward after that. Because of two things that will really strike. One is the comedy that is really being enjoyed by all the audiences that have watched it so far at the festivals. It is smart, intelligent comedy, but it's also not very, very niche, and you need to know certain references to get those jokes. It's not like that. It's
Very
accessible comedy, and people will enjoy it. That's one thing. And when 200 people do that together, they laugh together. It, like Sukant said, amplifies, and that's going to happen. And the second thing is that this film also comes with a big reveal. It's a murder mystery with a very nice reveal at the end. And when you watch it with those many people together, the experience is going to be something else, because by then you already have about like 10, 15 theories within that audience. They're all trying to crack the case, and then there's a reveal and people are thrown off and they react a certain way. So those two things are the key things that I think people should come to the theaters for. But when they do, they'll also go back with a bunch of other things.
Yeah.
It came out nicely, yeah.
Yeah, I think word of mouth will
There's no item
help.
song, AB. What is this?
Yeah.
We got an item song, AB.
Didn't get Sukant's dates, and our cinematographer refused to shoot that. So, so for those reasons, we couldn't do it. Yeah,
One song would have
but I
more than
mean,
your entire budget of the film.
yes. But yeah, in Kaisi Ye Paheli 2, we will get a big studio, and in that, I'm sure it'll be all the Tumkas will be there.
Kaisi Ye Saheli,
For
that's
that.
what he said. Oh,
Kaisi Ye Saheli, yeah, I think, yeah. That's a very good. That's the hook number that's going to be there.
Yeah.
Amazing. If Sukant, if I can get Sukant's dates for that, and if he comes within our realistic budgets, then for that song, then of course
I
that's the
have to go to
future.
the gym and all. You have to give me 2 years to make a body and all of that.
Sure, sure, sure. And three vanities where there will be gyms and all that. So we'll keep practicing.
Budget film.
This is indie cinema's frustration coming out.
Yeah. No, these are actually the dreams that indie filmmakers tend to hide. They try to be all
Yeah,
intellectual and stuff, but this is the actual dream. So yeah,
yeah,
you're bringing the truth out.
yeah.
So moving to my final
Yes.
question. So
Sure.
my
Yeah.
page and channel is called My Cinema Story. So I ask this question
Yeah.
to everyone: what is your cinema story? What is that one moment or an incident or memory about cinema which made you fall in love with cinema?
Okay. I'll go with my first thought.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, um this is something I've thought of, but I've never been able to sort of really understand uh, whether there's one film that really made me want to tell stories or write films and stuff like that. But I think, I mean, much like everyone in India, I also sort of grew up watching films and cricket, right? So cricket, the skills didn't match in films. There were some skill sets that kind of aligned, so I was able to sort of do something here. But falling in love with films, I think it started with the first film only. I watched Chamatkar when I was 7. That was the first film I watched in a theater. It had Shah Rukh Khan and Nasiruddin Shah and Urmila Matondkar in it. Also, Ashutosh Gowarekar plays a role there. He was an actor back then. So, very fun film. There's a lot of magic in there as well. And I loved it. So, my father had watched it somewhere else. And when he came back home, he wanted me to watch this film, and he took me to the theater, and he sort of told me where the projection happens from. He showed me that light, and I was turning and clapping at the light. Ki wow, what is this magic? इधर गिरता है, इधर invert होता है, ये होता है, film हम लोग देख सकते हैं. It was complete, and I mean, it was meta in the way that the film had magic, and film itself is magic. So I think it started there. I'm sure. I mean, all of us fall in love with films the same way almost. Yeah, and I mean, stayed in love ever since. So yeah.
Wonderful.
Hmm. For me, it was simple. I think I watched Half Ticket Kishore Kumar ki back in the day as a child, and then I watched it like 500 times. I can still say the whole dialogue and the music with the film. And yeah, that just pulled me in that. And the first film I watched in a theater was Khoon Bari Mang, where the crocs were eating
Oh,
face and like there was blood on the screen. एंड हम लोग की
crocodile.
ट्रेन लेट हो गई थी, मुजफ्फरनगर से जम्मू जा रहे थे, कटरा की ट्रेन थी, वैष्णो देवी जाने वाले थे, ट्रेन बहुत लेट हो गई, स्टेशन के सामने कमल सिनेमा था, कमल टॉकीज,
अच्छा.
और मेरे मेरे पिताजी का नाम भी कमल है, तो मैंने अजीब सा एसोसिएशन बना लिया था उससे। अरे मैं 4 साढ़े 4 साल का होऊंगा, तो वो लोग मुझे खून भरी मांग दिखाने ले गए, मेरे पेरेंट्स यार।
Oh.
So Khalil Bedi in his complete resplendence, and Rekha, who's supposed to be so beautiful, got eaten by crocodiles and her face got smashed, and
Yeah, yeah,
and that हंसते हंसते कट जाए रस्त, that tune.
Oh, it's in that.
It's in that.
Oh, oh
Yeah. So
wow.
these two films became like the drawing engines. But yeah, I mean, there's so many things. But yeah, Kishore Kumar is everything. Like Kishore Kumar just pulled me in.
Great. So yeah, that's it from my side.
Thank you. Thank you very
Sure,
much.
sure. Thank you,
Nice
thank
talking.
you. And what's your cinema story? If you want to end with that.
What is your story? Yeah.
My
Yeah.
cinema story, my first film I watched was Bazigar. So,
Oh,
Arre.
so that
the
was the
90s.
Sorry.
different kind of Shah Rukh Khan I watched from the beginning. Later on, I came to know that DDLJ and everything happened. So first one was Bazigar,
Mm,
and how a hero can become an anti-hero also. So right from the first film, I
mm.
understood that कि hero होना जरूरी नहीं होता. And movies can
Oh,
make you do a lot of things, different characters. In Bazigar, he is a villain. In Raju Ban Gaya Gentleman, it's a different role. And DDLJ,
yeah.
Right.
to that perception comes कि
Yeah,
ये
yeah.
होता है सिनेमा में कि कोई कोई भी कैरेक्टर बन सकता है, प्ले कर सकता है. So that was my first cinema story in some way.
All I'm trying to do is guess your age.
My age.
I'm just trying to. When was he born? Why saw Baz
Yeah.
first film?
Bazigar was the film that came right after Chamatkar to the cinemas where I watched it. Like I watched it at Naina Cinema in Dibrugarh
Mm.
in 1993, and the film that came right after was Bazigar. I was not allowed to watch Bazigar because I had just watched a film.
Uh,
So yeah,
I have seen it on TV.
yeah.
So
Anyway.
so not in theaters. So you can't guess my age now.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you
I'm
so much for
really
having
looking
us.
forward for the audience reaction for this film, and
Yeah,
wish you
yeah.
all the best.
Please go watch,
Thank
guys.
you.
Yes, sure. I will watch it again on the big screens.
Okay, lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
All right. Bye.